Have you ever heard the phrase, "A man's power lies not in what he shows, but in what he hides"? The Stoics believe that strength is not about muscles, money, or fame, but about control. Control over emotions, control over desires, control over what you reveal to the world. Because once a man exposes everything, his fears, his pain, his secrets, he loses his mystery and his power. Today, we're going to uncover 8 things a man must always hide from a woman. Not because of manipulation, but because discipline and silence are the foundation of true masculine wisdom. These are not rules of deception, they are rules of preservation. A Stoic man does not lie, but he does not reveal everything either. Hide your emotional chaos. A woman can sense energy before she hears words. If your energy is chaotic, if your emotions are all over the place, she will feel it immediately. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. The modern man, however, forgets this. He turns every emotion into a confession. He feels sad and he announces it. He feels insecure and he explains it. He feels jealous and he tries to justify it. But a Stoic man doesn't express every emotion. He processes it. He knows that not every feeling deserves an audience. Because when you bleed your chaos onto someone else, you stop being the calm in the storm and become the storm itself. To a woman, emotional chaos signals instability. To a Stoic, it signals weakness. Hide your storms until you've calmed them. Speak only after you've mastered them. Hide your financial struggles. Stoicism teaches dignity, even in scarcity. A man struggling financially must never make his struggle his identity. Seneca said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." When you constantly talk about how broke you are, how life is unfair, or how others are luckier, you transfer your energy of lack to everyone around you. And a woman, being emotionally intuitive, will feel your despair more than your words. This doesn't mean you must lie. It means you must protect your dignity. Be silent about your struggle, but loud about your progress. Work in silence. Build in silence. Let results do the talking. Because the man who quietly builds while others complain becomes the man everyone respects when the dust settles. Hide your deepest fears. Every man carries fear. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of not being enough. But Stoicism teaches that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the mastery of it. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you share your deepest fears too easily, you hand over your inner code to someone else. And once people know your code, they can break you. Even the kindest soul can unconsciously use your fears against you during moments of conflict. Stoic man does not expose his fears until he has conquered them. He doesn't pretend to be fearless. He simply works through fear privately. Woman will respect a man who confronts his fears, silently more than one who constantly seeks reassurance. Be like the mountain, silent, unmoving, and strong even when the storm hits. Hide your long-term plans. Silence is power. Every time you share your plans, you invite opinions, doubts, and sometimes envy. People, even those who love you, will project their fears onto your dreams. They'll tell you it's impossible. They'll remind you of your past failures. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, stop talking. Start doing. When you tell a woman your every plan, she begins to expect results. When results don't come quickly, she begins to question your ability. Protect your vision. Work on your dream in silence, and let your results shock everyone, including her. Let your achievements be a surprise, not a promise. Hide your past mistakes. Every man has a past. But the past is a place of reference, not residence. If you constantly revisit your past sins, failures, or heartbreaks, you bring old wounds into a new relationship. You weaken the mystery that makes a man attractive, his ability to move forward without explanation. Seneca once said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Your past mistakes were your training. Don't turn your scars into stories of shame. Keep them as silent lessons, not loud confessions. A Stoic man doesn't hide his past out of guilt. He hides it out of wisdom. Because the past no longer defines him. It refined him. Hide your desire for validation. The moment you seek validation, you surrender power. Stoics understood that a man's worth comes from within, not from approval. Praise or validation. Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Most men destroy their calm by constantly seeking validation. Did she like my message? Did she notice my effort? Does she still find me interesting? But the Stoic man knows that validation is a trap. He acts according to principle, not applause. He gives love, not to receive it, but because it's who he chooses to be. When a man becomes indifferent to validation, he becomes magnetic. Because nothing is more attractive than calm confidence. Hide your need for approval. Replace it with self-approval. Hide your anger and impulse. Man who cannot control his anger is a slave to it. Stoics saw anger as the destroyer of wisdom. Seneca wrote an entire essay titled, On Anger, calling it a temporary madness. When you explode in rage, when you shout insult or break things, you lose all power. Even if you win the argument, you lose respect. A woman may fear your anger, but she will never respect it, because anger is the sign of a man who has lost command of himself. The Stoic man feels anger like fire, but he contains it in a forge. He shapes it into determination. He turns insult into motivation. Control is not suppression, it's transformation. Hide your impulses. Speak slowly. Act deliberately. Let your calmness become your dominance. Hide the depth of your love. This one surprises many. But Stoicism teaches that even love requires balance. When a man shows every ounce of his love, every need, every dependency, he shifts the energy. What was once respect turns into pity. What was once attraction turns into comfort. A woman feels safest with a man who loves her deeply, but is not consumed by her. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Love only that which happens to you and is spun with the thread of your destiny." That means love with detachment. Give affection, but don't surrender your center. A Stoic man loves like a river, steady, calm and endless, not like a storm, wild and destructive. Hide the depth of your love, not out of coldness but out of strength. Let her feel your warmth, but never your dependence. When you hide these 8 things, you don't become distant, you become disciplined. You don't become heartless, you become centered. Stoicism isn't about emotional suppression, it's about emotional mastery. It's about knowing what to share, when to share, and with whom to share. Every man must learn the art of quiet strength, because in silence a man grows. In discipline, he earns respect, and in control, he finds peace. You are not required to explain your storms. You are not required to prove your pain. You are only required to stand firm in the face of both. Remember, the calm man is the strong man. The silent man is the wise man. The disciplined man is the free man. Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing against, unshaken, unmoved, unbroken. Hide not because you fear, but because you understand. Because wisdom often wears the mask of silence. That is the essence of Stoicism. If this message spoke to you, don't forget to reflect on it today. Silence your chaos. Master your emotions. Protect your inner world. That's how men rise, quietly,